The Samoan Werewolf just did the impossible. Jacob Fatu returned to Smackdown and absolutely annihilated Brock Lesnar in a way nobody saw coming. The Beast Incarnate has been destroyed, and the entire WWE landscape just changed forever. If you missed this historic moment, you need to hear what went down right now. What's going on? Wrestling vs. Family. Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the most explosive wrestling content on YouTube. Before we break down this earth-shattering return, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell because you do not want to miss what's coming next on this channel. Now let's dive into the chaos. Friday Night SmackDown just witnessed one of the most jaw-dropping moments in recent WWE history. The arena was electric, the crowd was on fire, and then it happened. The music hit, the lights changed, and Jacob Fatu made his shocking return to WWE programming in the most spectacular fashion imaginable. But this wasn't just a return. This was a statement. This was a declaration of war. And the target? None other than Brock Lesnar, the man who has dominated WWE for over 2 decades, the former UFC heavyweight champion, the Beast Incarnate himself. Let me set the scene for you. Brock Lesnar was in the ring cutting a promo about his dominance, talking about how nobody in the locker room could step to him, how he's conquered everyone who's ever challenged him. The crowd was split, some cheering, some booing, but everyone was listening because when Brock Lesnar speaks, you pay attention. Then, out of nowhere, the arena went dark. The crowd erupted into a deafening roar because they knew something big was about to happen. And when those lights came back on, standing at the top of the ramp was Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf, looking like an absolute force of nature. The intensity in that building was unreal. You could feel it through the screen. Jacob Fatu stood there, eyes locked on Brock Lesnar, and you could see something in his expression that sent chills down everyone's spine. This wasn't just another rivalry. This was personal. This was about respect, about legacy, and about proving who the most dominant force in WWE really is. Brock Lesnar's face told the whole story. For a split second, you could see surprise, then recognition, then that trademark Lesnar smirk. He was welcoming the challenge. He was ready for war. But what happened next? Nobody could have predicted. Jacob Fatu didn't waste any time with words. He didn't need a microphone. He didn't need to cut a promo. His actions were going to speak louder than anything he could say. He charged down that ramp like a freight train, rolled into the ring, and the fight was on. These two behemoths started exchanging strikes that echoed throughout the arena. Every punch, every chop, every collision sounded like thunder. This wasn't wrestling. This was two warriors going to war. The crowd was absolutely losing their minds, chanting both names, unable to decide who to root for because both men were giving everything they had. Jacob Fatu showcased why he's called the Samoan Werewolf. His combination of power, agility, and sheer ferocity was on full display. He hit Brock with a series of strikes that actually backed the Beast Incarnate into the corner. When's the last time you saw someone back Brock Lesnar into a corner? When's the last time you saw Brock on the defensive? But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Brock Lesnar went for his signature German suplex, the move that has planted countless superstars on their necks. He grabbed Jacob Fatu, lifted him up, but Fatu countered. He flipped out of it, landed on his feet, and before Brock could even turn around, Jacob Fatu hit him with a devastating superkick that dropped Lesnar to one knee. The crowd erupted. Brock Lesnar was on one knee. The man who throws people around like ragdolls was rocked. And Jacob Fatu wasn't done. Not even close. What happened next will be replayed for years to come. Jacob Fatu bounced off the ropes, building momentum, and delivered a running hip attack that sent Brock Lesnar crashing into the corner. The impact was so brutal that you could feel it. Then, in a display of pure athleticism that shouldn't be possible for a man his size, Jacob Fatu climbed to the top rope. Everyone in that arena knew what was coming. The moonsault. Jacob Fatu's signature move. But could he hit it on Brock Lesnar? Would Brock move out of the way? The tension was unbearable. Jacob Fatu leapt through the air with perfect form, rotating in midair, and crashed down onto Brock Lesnar with a moonsault that shook the entire ring. The referee didn't count because this wasn't an official match, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Brock Lesnar was laid out in the middle of the ring. The Beast Incarnate was down. Jacob Fatu stood over him, arms raised, and the message was crystal clear. A new monster has arrived in WWE, and he just took down the biggest beast in the jungle. Security rushed the ring to separate them, but the damage was already done. Not just physically, but psychologically. Jacob Fatu just did what very few people have ever done. He got the better of Brock Lesnar. He made a statement that nobody will ever forget. Now let's talk about what this means for the WWE landscape. Jacob Fatu's return changes everything. We're talking about a man with an incredible pedigree, a member of the legendary Anoa'i family, the same bloodline that gave us The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and so many other legends. But Jacob Fatu isn't just riding on his family name. He's earned his reputation through years of hard work, through dominating independent promotions, through proving night after night that he's one of the most dangerous performers in the world. And now, he's bringing all that intensity, all that skill, all that hunger to the biggest stage in professional wrestling. His attack on Brock Lesnar wasn't random. It was strategic. Think about it. If you want to make an impact in WWE, if you want to announce that you're here to dominate, who better to target than Brock Lesnar? The man who has conquered The Undertaker, John Cena, CM Punk, and virtually everyone else who has stood across from him. By going after Brock, Jacob Fatu is telling the entire roster that he's not here to work his way up. He's not here to pay dues. He's here to take what he believes is rightfully his. He's here to prove that the Samoan Werewolf is the most dangerous predator in WWE. And let's talk about Brock Lesnar's reaction. We know Brock doesn't take disrespect lightly. We know that when someone crosses him, he makes them pay in the most brutal way possible. So what happens next? Does Brock demand a match? Does he go hunting for Jacob Fatu? Does Paul Heyman get involved to try and strategize their response? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this so exciting. We could be looking at the beginning of one of the most intense rivalries in modern WWE history. Two absolute monsters, two men who don't know how to back down, two warriors with everything to prove, going head to head in a collision course that could tear the entire company apart. Think about the match possibilities. A singles match at a premium live event would be absolute chaos. These two could tear the house down. Or what if this becomes part of a bigger story? What if other members of the bloodline get involved? What if Paul Heyman tries to manipulate the situation? What if this is just the beginning of something much larger? Jacob Fatu's return also raises questions about his alignment. Is he coming in as a lone wolf, pardon the pun, or is he going to align himself with family? Could we see him join forces with Roman Reigns and the bloodline? Or is he here to prove that he doesn't need anyone, that the Samoan Werewolf hunts alone? The wrestling world is buzzing right now. Social media exploded the moment this happened. Fans are divided, debates are raging, and everyone has an opinion. Some people are saying Jacob Fatu is the future of WWE. Others are saying Brock Lesnar will destroy him in their inevitable match. Everyone's picking sides, and that's exactly what great wrestling storytelling does. Let's also appreciate the physicality we witnessed. Both men brought legitimate intensity to that ring. Every move looked impactful, every strike looked like it hurt, and the crowd believed every second of it. That's the magic of professional wrestling at its finest. When you believe what you're watching, when you're emotionally invested, that's when wrestling transcends entertainment and becomes something special. Jacob Fatu proved tonight why he's been one of the most talked about talents in wrestling for years. His athleticism is off the charts. A man his size shouldn't be able to move the way he moves, shouldn't be able to hit moonsaults with that kind of precision, shouldn't be able to match Brock Lesnar's intensity. But he did all of that and more. And let's give credit to Brock Lesnar too. He didn't bury Jacob Fatu. He sold the attack, he made it look devastating, and he helped elevate Jacob Fatu's return to legendary status. That's what veterans do. They help create the next generation of stars, even if it means taking some bumps along the way. The Smackdown locker room just got a whole lot more interesting. Every superstar backstage now knows that there's a new apex predator in WWE. Jacob Fatu isn't coming for mid-card titles. He's not here for participation trophies. He's here for the main event, he's here for championships, and he's here to prove that he's the most dominant force in the company. Championship implications are huge here too. Whether we're talking about the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, or any other title, Jacob Fatu just put everyone on notice. He's coming for gold, and after what we witnessed tonight, who's going to stop him? The beauty of this return is that it opens up so many storytelling possibilities. We could get Jacob Fatu versus Brock Lesnar at the next premium live event. We could get a series of matches. We could get interference, alliances, betrayals, and everything in between. WWE Creative has been given a gift here, and if they book this correctly, we could be talking about this rivalry for years to come. One thing is certain. Smackdown just became must-see television again. Everyone's going to be tuning in next week to see what happens next. Will Brock Lesnar get his revenge? Will Jacob Fatu strike again? Will we get a face-to-face confrontation where they actually get to talk? The anticipation is killing us. This is the kind of moment that reminds us why we love professional wrestling. The surprise returns, the shocking attacks, the larger-than-life characters colliding in epic confrontations. This is what creates memories. This is what creates legends. Jacob Fatu's return and destruction of Brock Lesnar will be remembered as one of the defining moments of this era. Years from now, when people talk about the greatest returns in WWE history, this moment will be part of that conversation. When people talk about Jacob Fatu's legacy, this will be remembered as the night he announced himself to the world in the biggest way possible. So what's your take on all of this, Wrestling vs. Family? Do you think Jacob Fatu can actually beat Brock Lesnar in a full match? Who are you rooting for in this rivalry? Do you want to see Jacob Fatu as a singles competitor, or should he join the bloodline? Drop all your thoughts, predictions, and reactions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, show some love by hitting that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Share this video with your fellow wrestling fans who need to know about this historic moment. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC and turn on those notifications so you never miss our coverage of the latest WWE action. We've got so much more content coming your way. Match predictions, backstage news, roster updates, and deep dives into your favorite superstars. This channel is your home for everything wrestling, and we're just getting started. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling vs. Family. The Samoan Werewolf has returned, Brock Lesnar has been put on notice, and the WWE Universe will never be the same. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and remember, in the world of professional wrestling, anything can happen, and usually does. Until next time, keep the passion alive, keep supporting your favorites, and keep watching Wrestling vs. CC for the best wrestling content on YouTube. This is your host signing off. See you in the next one.